Last episode, we dug into the Earth's native underground infinite energy source cleaner than solar power, suppressed and hidden by energy conglomerates for decades. Today, we'll unlock another top-secret military black technology locked away by global armed forces. Genuine cloaking tech that renders planes, warships, and soldiers completely invisible out of thin air. Textbooks only touch on basic surface camouflage. Metamaterials, which bend light waves and full radar to achieve full optical invisibility, are locked inside top-secret military labs worldwide, with serial data released for civilian use. Let's start with the origin of cloaking tech. Don't think invisibility is a modern sci-fi invention. Our ancestors mastered the core concept long ago. In nature, chameleons and octopuses come with built-in camouflage abilities, while tactical concealment tactics trace all the way back to the art of war from ancient China. Japanese ninja stealth tactics of old were essentially primitive invisibility acts. Early European armies wore bright red uniforms that made them easy targets from miles away. They suffered crushing defeats in the Boer War before switching to khaki camouflage. Armies shifted from scarlet coats to green uniforms during Napoleon's reign, marking the very first step toward military camouflage. Early warships relied on smoke screens and painted patterns to disguise themselves as civilian vessels to fool enemies. In World War I, Germany pioneered hardcore optical stealth tech, while the legendary Red Baron's fighter squad took the opposite approach, painting garish, intricate patterns all over their fuselages purely to intimidate opposing troops. Back in 1916, Germany developed humanity's first optically invisible fighter plane. The chemists modified the Farkout EIA. Instead of canvas fuselage coverings, the entire frame was coated pure white, and all engines and equipment casings were wrapped in transparent tetrachlorothin light-transmitting material, rendering the aircraft's outline indistinguishable to the naked eye from a distance. Soviet inventors followed suit in the 1930s, wrapping fighter jets in ultra-thin transparent cellophane. Unfortunately, all aircraft later switched to metal hulls, and this optical invisibility solution was shelved indefinitely. World War II brought an explosive leap in stealth technology. Germany built the Horten flying wing stealth jet, nearly mass-producing it, and developed radar-absorbent special coatings fitted early onto U-boats. Meanwhile, the US launched Project Yehudi, installing specialized light sources along wing edges to erase brightness contrast between aircraft and the sky. From 2 miles away, the planes vanished entirely from sight. Anti-submarine warplanes equipped with this system left enemy submarines no time to dive and escape. Next up is the world-famous classified stealth experiment, the Philadelphia experiment, codenamed Project Rainbow. Back then, the US military aimed to counter German U-boat torpedoes. A team of top scientists built an ultra-strong magnetic field and high-frequency energy shield around the warship. Theoretically, the setup would warp light rays, making the entire vessel invisible to both human eyes and radar detectors. But the experiment's horrific side effects were beyond belief. Nikola Tesla warned the military in advance that running the full test on a ship path with sailors would lead to catastrophe, yet no one heeded his warning. The trial spawned bizarre phenomena: human teleportation, sailors fused physically into the ship's hull. All records documenting these horrific after effects were permanently sealed. Military officials only gave vague, evasive statements to the public, refusing to disclose the full truth. The founding father of stealth radar technology was surprisingly a Soviet scientist. In 1962, Fyodor Avdyeev published his radar refraction theory, laying out the complete mathematical formulas explaining the fundamental logic of evading radar detection. Yet his research was completely ignored within the USSR. Fellow scientists dismissed his work as worthless, and his paper was buried in piles of archives, forgotten. After the Soviet Union collapsed, the US secretly seized this core theoretical research. In 1975, a Lockheed Martin engineer stumbled across Avdyev's paper and immediately pitched a revolutionary design to company executives: radar evading fighters assembled from custom metal panels. The prototype had an absurd, blocky shape, nicknamed the Hopeless Diamond, and no one believed it could take flight. This was the origin of the iconic half-blue demonstrator jet. This test aircraft established the global development roadmap for stealth fighters. It made its combat debut in the 1989 Panama invasion, and the F-117 stealth jet dominated the battlefield during the 1990 Desert Storm operation. Ironically, the Soviet Union completely abandoned their own scientists' groundbreaking breakthrough, while the US mastered stealth technology using the stolen theory and went on to manufacture stealth military aircraft that monopolized the global market. Another bizarre classified incident emerged in the 1980s. A US aircraft carrier vanished out of thin air right in front of a Soviet surveillance fishing boat mid-mission, reappearing hundreds of miles away hours later. Soviet forces launched a full carpet search with all available naval and air assets for hours with zero results. The US captain later leaked privately that they had activated the military's top-secret stealth transition technology, a process that defied all publicly recognized physics laws of the era. The 21st century brought a revolutionary new material to light: metamaterials. The term was first coined by John Pendry in 2001. DARPA instantly recognized its massive military potential and poured funding into research, redefining the material as artificial composite structures that possess physical properties impossible to replicate with any natural substance found on Earth. By engineering micro-nanostructures, scientists can directly rewrite the propagation rules of light waves and electromagnetic waves. Professor David Smith from Duke University, author of authoritative metamaterial papers published in Science, launched a website to publicly break down invisibility cloak theories, comparing fictional stealth concepts from movies with real-world viable technology. Many people have seen Japan's basic invisibility cloaks, which rely on dozens of cameras to capture background scenery and project it onto fabric bulky, tangled with wiring, and utterly impractical. Metamaterials require zero electronic components at all. They achieve full invisibility purely through their structural design, marking a total technological revolution. Let's break down the core working principle of metamaterial cloaking. Ordinary materials reflect the electromagnetic waves on impact, but metamaterials achieve a negative refractive index. Instead of bouncing back, incoming electromagnetic waves flow around the object and exit from the opposite side. Radar and human eyes receive zero reflected signals, making the target disappear completely. Lab testing is only feasible at nano and micron scales, using composite structures of tiny microspheres and cylinders. These microstructures trap and circulate incoming energy, guiding light waves to curve around any covered object. When radar scans the area, the detector only receives visual data of the environment behind the target, with no trace of the object in between. Aircraft, tanks, or soldiers coated in metamaterials vanish entirely from all observation systems. Still, metamaterials are not a universal fix. They carry fatal limitations to this day. First, over 20% of all incoming signal energy is absorbed, leading to severe energy loss. Second, a single metamaterial formulation only works for one specific frequency band. Visible light, microwaves, and infrared radiation each require completely distinct metamaterial recipes. To this day, no broadband metamaterial compatible with the full electromagnetic spectrum exists. Metamaterials follow the same logic as modern electronics. Unique special properties only exist when their microstructures are precisely engineered, and these abilities vanish the moment the structural design is altered. As Arthur C. Clarke famously stated, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Conventional physics only unlocks a quarter of all potential properties of matter. The remaining three-quarters lie hidden within metamaterial technology. This technology remains tightly controlled by military institutions worldwide. The B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, deep-sea classified submarines, and rumored replica craft of supposed extraterrestrial vehicles at Area 51 all feature hidden metamaterial cloaking structures. Civilian researchers cannot access complete development data, and zero government funding is allocated for civilian-focused metamaterial studies. Military-industrial complexes and capital collude to suppress this technology, fearing low-cost civilian invisibility tech would upend the existing global power structure. Today, we fully trace the entire suppressed history of cloaking tech, from World War I optical stealth to modern metamaterial invisibility cloaks. In our next episode, we'll dive into explosive new revelations. Metamaterials are capable of far more than invisibility. They can freely harvest unlimited zero-point vacuum energy. We'll expose the full chain of profit-driven suppression, as military giants hoard every metamaterial pattern while completely halting all civilian energy research using this technology. Hit like, Subscribe and stay tuned next time we break down this dual forbidden black technology that can turn objects invisible and generate endless free power. See you then!